Hi, guys. Welcome to episode 28 of Link On, your number one show on the internet, live talking to you about living and working in Japan. I'm Brian, and I'm here from linkjapancareers.net. Check out our site, like it, share it with your friends. Also, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. Uh, we're here every day trying to get you a new job and a better job in Japan. And I hope you enjoy our show, like our properties, and apply for our jobs at linkjapancareers.net. So first thing I want to talk about today is uh, the research you need to do for uh, about the company when you are going to uh, go for an interview. So you may be wondering, like, um, what do I have to do in order to give myself the best chances of success in my interview? And so I have a little thing here today. I like to talk about these, with you. And, here you can see a research checklist that we have. And these are the things which I think you should look up and you should know before you go in to have an interview, with the company. And by knowing these, you'll be able to better, answer the questions that they might ask you, and give yourself a higher chance of being successful in the interview and make a better impression, right? So the first one here is the corporate philosophy or management philosophy. This is known as the KA Rinen, right, or the Kigyo Rinen. And what they're going to want to do, what you want to do here is see what does the company have as their philosophy. What do they think about? What do they consider to be important in business and in society? A lot of times they'll say different things. They'll say like, oh, our company is dedicated to happiness, or our company is dedicated to bringing forward new technology. And they'll have usually 5 or 10 ideas that are their main ideas that they're going to talk about in operating their company, which is always a good thing to know when you are going into interview with them. Then that'll give you an advantage when they start to talk about things, and you'll be able to fine tune your answers to the kinds of things that they're looking for. So the next thing is the message from a representative, such as the president. They a lot of times will have a message from their bosses and the people, the founder, the people who are running the company, whoever's the big dog that's the representative of the company. They'll usually have some kind of a message from them, and they'll talk about, well, I used to do this, or I wanted to make a company that had this vision, and so on. That's a good place to get one of those little choice bits that you could talk about in your interview, right? And the next one is the management plan. A lot of times they will put up management plans about what they're planning to do in the future, or what they're doing now and how that works for their 5-year goal or their 10-year goal, or whatever they're doing in their business. That's another good thing to know, because you'll have plenty of things to talk about in there, and it will give you ammunition that you can use to make yourself fit into the picture of that management plan, which is what you want to do. You want to make it so that when the interviewer is talking to you, they're going to think, wow, this is the person who's going to start to, who's going to answer some of the problems and, the questions and needs that we have at the company. And then they're going to check yes on your interview sheet, and you're going to get a phone call from Link Japan Careers telling you got the job, right? Which is what everybody wants. Next is the shareholder composition and organizational structure. This is going to tell you about the shareholders. Who are the shareholders? If it's a big publicly traded company, there's going to be lots of different shareholders, banks, other companies, investment funds, private holders, and so on. Those people. And if not, it'll be privately owned, or, owned by some different groups of people. The organizational structure, it will tell you, what's the head office, where's the factory, where's the business offices, sales offices, research labs, who's in charge, who's the president of this, who's the vice president of that. It's going to tell you those different things. You can go and look up those people and find out if they've said anything in the news or if they've written a book or different things like that. That's going to help you know something about them. The business description. Well, what are the things that they do at the company? You might know, oh, well, this is a company that does computer software, right? But is computer software the only thing they do? They might make something, or they might have another business, a side business that they operate. And what they might be thinking about is somebody for that side business, actually. So you don't want it to be a surprise when you go in thinking that you're going to be working in a hotel and the hotel starts to talk about a private credit company. And yeah, they lend money, right? But they're a hotel. That's not a surprise, right? And it's the kind of thing that could happen. Their main products. This goes hand in hand with the business description. So what are their main products? What do they do? What do they make? What do they sell? These are the things you want to know very well. And if possible, try out their product so that you can have an honest opinion of the product as a consumer, if possible. And the recruitment information. You're going to be able to see on their webpage, are they recruiting people? Do they need people? What kind of people are they looking for? You'll be able to gauge yourself against those and figure out, how you fit against those things that they're looking for. And probably you're doing better than them, but you never know. It's good to know. So these are the things which you need to research about the company before you go into meet with them and talk with them. All right. So these are good for you to get, in your mind and have these this knowledge when you go in. So I'd like to, go back to the full screen here. And there we go. And so let's go today to looking at things that we have on the board at linkjapancareers.net. Check us out. Our job board. Go there, linkjapancareers.net, and click on Find Jobs at the top. The thing I want to talk most about today is our Interac positions. And this is domestic people. If you are living in Japan, we have some very attractive countryside positions, mostly in the north, Hokkaido, Tohoku regions. Total compensation monthly is about 300,000 yen. So it's going to be comparable to people on JET. And it's going to be total compensation, a higher than normal base salary, local allowance for the area, allowances for transportation and other things, and then it will all total up to 300,000. And no proration, 12 months a year. Things you have to have. You have to be a university graduate. You have to have a status of residence, a visa, and a valid residence card. You have to have 12 years of education where English is the language of instruction. You have to be professional in all manners, and you have to have a driver's license or valid IDP and be willing to drive. And that's what you need as a beginning. It also helps if you have experience teaching and so on, of any kind. It will really help. Send in your application for this job. It's job 352, linkjapancareers.net/job-description/352. If you apply for this position and get in there, tell them that you saw the video with Brian and he told you to get the job, and I will give you extra friendly bonus points when I talk to your recruiter. That's the only thing I can do for you. So that's one. It's a hot position now going. We have maybe 6 of these positions left. So get your applications in. It'll be starting within this month or early next month. So now's the time to do it. In fact, now's the time to start preparing for any job you want to get after the coronavirus situation resolves, probably June or so. So don't forget that you can still make a career change this year. and other things we have on the board. We do have other positions for Interac for domestic people with some in Toyama. Toyama City, very nice. It's got mountains on one side, ocean on the other. It's a beautiful place. I've got Toyama positions. I have Kagoshima position, rural Kagoshima. Some other places in. Let me get up the list here, and let's see where we have open. This is my internal list, not on our webpage, so I can give you this information, insider information here. So I have some Yamanashi Prefecture. Okay, that's the first one I can talk about is Fuefuki City. That's just outside of, what's that place? Capital. Koga? No, not Koga. Kofu, right outside of Kofu. It's a bed town of Kofu. This is a short-term contract, so it's until about August. If you want to take this, then it's going to be a short-term, and you can transfer to another position after that. We'll pay for the housing and all that stuff, and then you just move into another one, right? Toyama, driving position, experience, Japanese speaking, maybe able to get a relocation assistance. All of these jobs, actually, you may be able to get relocation assistance of up to 250,000 yen, right? And by applying now. Another one we have is Minami Osumi Town in Kagoshima Prefecture. Basically the same, driving experience, Japanese, if you have those, be great. Another Wakayama Prefecture, driving position. Another Shiga Prefecture, in Hino, Hinoshiga, and some other places, Shima, Mie Prefecture, Shima City, and that's basically what I have right now, domestic opening. So there are some open positions now which you can step into right away, and now would not be a bad time to step into an ALT position, because a lot of places aren't actually working. They're just going to school and making worksheets and stuff. So you can step in there, get to know the teachers and so on. And then, when schools come back, you can take off and start teaching then. So now is actually a really good time to change ALT jobs. You might not think so, but it is. Let me just talk there from the insider view in the ALT industry. And that's what I've got for domestic positions with Interac. Also, let's go to the board for LiNK Japan Careers. Here, to be honest, the external placement with a lot of businesses and stuff have got kind of slow. And I don't have the freshest new jobs, really, which is not great for me. But I'd like to have better new jobs, which I'm sure we will. Come on, website. All right. So I have an Android app developer still, AI voice recognition for English language, and corporate planning, human resources in Kagawa. Want to go to Kagawa, I have that. Area specialist, want to go to Okinawa, I have an Okinawa position. It's not English teaching, it's fiber optic cable laying and other types of work, actual manual work and skilled work. So it's a good one. On-site facilities manager in Okayama. This is a plant management. Also AI speech engineer, IT work, high pay, Minato Tokyo. Development engineer in Shinagawa. This is IT. programming. Tech lead, also pretty high paying. And development engineer, also same place. Not as high paying, but not as high spec. And then also operations staff, front desk staff at a hotel. Good position. And hotel front staff and hotel bell staff, international major league hotel. Definitely a great position to get into, either one of those, hotel or bell staff. So those are the positions I've got on the board today. You can go ahead and have a look there, linkjapancareers.net. Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, and LinkedIn as well. Tell your friends, share, like, and make sure to subscribe to our YouTube as well. And let's see here. Guys, hold on. I'm going to just give you one last message to hold on, because after this coronavirus situation ends, and this looking like it's going to end either the 14th or the end of the month, I expect a lot of places to come back roaring, because they're going to find out that they're understaffed and they need people. And a lot of places are hiring a lot more non-Japanese staff these days, right? 25% more than before. So there's going to be demand. And if other countries aren't open and there's not a lot of air travel coming in, that's going to make each one of you way more in demand than you were before, just by the nature of you being here. So study up on your Japanese and study Excel and get whatever skills you can get in. Take online lessons for something, and even a little bit will help you, because there's going to be a great demand. And I have a question here from Omar Camacho. Omar asks, I moved to Tokushima, Japan 1 year ago, and I'm starting to learn Japanese, but I couldn't apply for any office job because of that. Do you think there's any chance to work for any company without Japanese? Let me reply in here. It's much harder with absolutely no Japanese, and it limits the kinds of jobs. Try to get up to JLPT in 3 at least. So I would say try to get up to JLPT in 3. That's an intermediate level. You could probably study really hard for a few months and get that test. Go and get yourself some textbooks, Genki textbooks. Go to Japanese Pod 101, get an online tutor, study. It's all possible, and it doesn't cost much, right? You can go and, you can advance your level, right? If you just stay at home and you watch movies and media in your language, and you talk to your family and your people in your language, and you don't actively practice Japanese, you will not make progress. Learning Japanese and getting good at Japanese is like any other skill or any other ability. You have to practice at it daily, and you have to work at it. And there are a lot of people out there who already have an advantage because they've been doing it for a long time or for a while. But you can go from nothing to something really quick, right? It's like when you first start playing a sport, you're not very good, and then you do it a little bit and you get sort of good. That's the way you can do it with Japanese. And then it takes a little bit more time to get to a really high level, but I think you can do enough to get a job in a few months, right? So if you're highly motivated, and people will see that motivation is more important than a lot of other things, right? Like I talked about the other time, where they're talking about the different characteristics that they're looking for in people, right? So Omar, I hope that answers your question. I know there's a lot of people out there that, they're working in a job and they don't get a chance to study Japanese. They think that they have to go to some school and learn from a teacher or something. I don't think you have to. I think you can get some apps. I think you can go to some websites like Japanese Pod 101 or Duolingo, or there's an article on our website about how to learn Japanese, actually. You can go to our website, linkjapancareers.net, read that article and try some of those things and see how it goes. Go to the bookstore, go to Amazon, order yourself Genki, the textbook series Genki. That's the one I started with, and start learning these things, right? You're around Japanese people, you're in Japan, you're in the best situation to acquire Japanese. Just got to do some work, right? Guys, I really want to challenge you to do that this year. You can get your level up, and you can make progress, and you can move out of that job that you don't like and move into a better job with LiNK Japan Careers at linkjapancareers.net, right? Thanks a lot, guys. Check out our other sites: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, right? Check those out, share them with your friends, like, subscribe, and thank you for listening.